All right, you ready for this letter?
Yes.
I got to read chick writing, so wish me luck.
Yeah,
especially
I read
with
it.
my throat.
I had
the
a
way
hard
that
time
it is.
reading it. I got about to page 6.5, and I'm like, yeah.
Well, I know, especially for a dyslexicist, that like upper and lowercase letters, handwritten, are like your kryptonite.
Actually, cursive is the worst. I can't barely even read that.
Or me talking about my sex life.
So
is also his kryptonite.
Stop.
I was talking with Riggs Jr. online the other day. He's like, "I love when you do that. Never stop." Just because it fucks with you so bad.
Stop it, man.
She swallows.
Stop! God damn it! God. Well, hang on, I got to purge the images.
This is what's going on in his head right now.
Yep.
I got cootie juices all over my dishes. All right, here we go. I am writing this because I feel the need to take up for the bad girls, seeing that we are being blamed for society's ills in the relationship department.
80-80.
According to the good girls, who are now the victims, saying we ruined it all for them. With a whole generation coming up out of sex trafficking and foster care, can you tell me that they are undeserving of love and happiness?
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're talking about the bare minimum of bad girls.
Well, okay.
Now, when it comes to bad girls and bad boys, it's a vicious circle. Bad girls turn good guys into bad boys, and bad boys can turn good girls into bad girls. All right? But the gatekeepers of sex have and always will be
women.
So you can't create a stud without sluts. So no matter how you try to twist it, it is the bad girl's fault. Sorry. And now when you're talking about sex trafficking and foster care, were they responsible for what happened to them? Absolutely not. Are they responsible for their actions as adults, knowing that they're fucked up and that they should seek therapy, and instead they decide to go medicate with cocks and meth and alcohol? Absolutely, they fucking are.
Well, yeah. Again, there's the accountability dodging going on, I guess.
It is what it is. Now, are we going to, absolve men of accountability in this for being involved in it? Of course not.
No.
We were all young and dumb and full of stuff that rhymes with dumb. And most of us do not hesitate to take up a sloot on a nice offer. As long as, as long as you can double bag it.
I think I'm pretty much done with that.
Well, yeah, but in your youth.
Oh.
If there was lasagna attached.
I was a lawn sprinkler.
Exactly. You were slinging seed like an old bird feeder.
Hell yeah,
you were. So was I.
Oh, God. It was bad.
Yeah. And let's be honest, all of us at one time or another have been part of the problem. And when we point the finger at the bad girls, it's not to say that, men aren't to blame. Of course we are. But the market is controlled by these chicks.
Yeah.
So it sucks and swallows sometimes, but it is what it is. All right, I'm sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Moving on. That's not what God says. There are whores in the Bible that were right by Jesus' side. That's right. When you want salvation, you go to Jesus. When you want salivation, you go to men. See what I did there?
Wow.
And he used others for good. May I mention the story of Rahib, who risked her whole family getting executed to hide spies for Christ?
All right, hang on a minute.
There are good women in the Bible. Whoever hasn't read the book of Esther, definitely make a point of reading it.
But there's just as many horrid women in the Bible.
And pointing to the Bible does not absolve women of their actions any more than it absolves men of their actions. Where are we? The woman who washed his feet with her hair and her tears. Some of us have not been loved and therefore don't love ourselves and don't know what a healthy relationship is or how to have one. That is a valid point.
That is valid.
That's a valid point. If you grew up in a dysfunctional environment, dysfunctionality is going to feel normal to you. Yeah. And, that's why therapists exist, even if most of them suck.
And that's probably one of the reasons why I was picking the wrong women, is because I was listening to what my single mother said women wanted, which was 180 degrees away from the
Yes.
truth.
And that's why you never, ever, ever take advice from a woman who couldn't keep a man or who wasn't raised by a man about what makes a real man. Because that's like building a motorcycle with IKEA's instructions for a bookshelf. Okay? It's not going to fucking work.
It's not going to take you anywhere good.
Just watch it fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Until we learn how to love ourselves and know the unconditional love that Christ shows us, we are not capable of loving another, though we desperately want to. So we fail and cause damage. It is not intentional,
Oh, no.
as we would like nothing more than to have the love and security that eluded us. Well, if you don't know what it is, and you don't know what it's supposed to feel like because you weren't raised by good parents or you didn't have a father in the home, that's legitimate. However, as an adult, you've still seen enough right and wrong in the universe to make better decisions.
I would say there's some women out there who intentionally,
Mm-hmm.
like literally,
Absolutely.
want nothing more than to rip your heart out through your asshole.
Look at every female politician.
Yeah.
Virtually all of them. You can tell that they sucked and fucked to get their way to where they are, and they hate themselves for doing it. So now every man has to pay for every dollop of sperm they swallowed to get to where they are.
Dollop. Oh, it's just horrible.
Dollops for trollops 2025.
Oh,
Go on
God.
a denture adventure. Disgusting.
Oh, my Lord.
The good girls have high expectations as they feel they are quite the catch, where the bad girls usually feel that they are undeserving of love and are prone to sabotage as a self-fulfilling prophecy, speaking from experience.
Therapy.
That is correct, though. Yeah.
You need therapy.
Bad girls do not feel worthy of love, so they tend to sabotage people who love them willingly because they're not used to that.
And
that is a valid point.
You need therapy.
Correct. Not to be confused with the rapey.
Yeah, you don't
do that.
Stay away from the rapey.
Yes. It's not a good thing. When a bad girl comes into her own or reaches the realization that she wants to learn how to love, and by and large, no one is willing to give them a chance due to the game and blame, or the shame and blame, some bad girls who get corrected would die for you. Bad girls can be rehabilitated, speaking from experience. I'm not saying that they can't. Absolutely. There are a lot of women out there who come from the kind of backgrounds that she's talking about, and they turn into wonderful people.
But I'm not paying for it.
That's the thing. Like, you're asking us to bet against the house in a casino.
Mm-hmm.
It's sometimes you're going to win. Most of the time, you're going to crap out.
Well, you have the 80-80 rule. 80% of divorces filed by women, and 80% of the time, the man is caught completely off guard.
There you go. And the thing is, you are making valid points. With that being said, you're not going to talk a dude into betting against the house.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
People who will routinely weaponize your past against you without a second thought, even though it was something they gave you permission to do, don't have a right to expect you to ignore their past behavior.
What he's explaining is the fight bank.
Yes. The hurt locker, in other words. Yeah. Fight bank, hurt locker, same deal. But, I mean, the past is the greatest predictor of the future. That's why the left wants to erase the history books.
Yep.
Take down your statues, all that shit. No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Just most of the time you're wrong. 9 years monk. The hate comes from both sides. The women hate you because the men want you, because you do things they won't, and they are jealous. The men hate you because they think you are dirty. No, they don't hate you because they just won't wife you up. There's no hate there.
There's no hate. That's another thing is
these women have their place in the dating pantheon. Like, it's just not going to be at the altar.
Yeah, like on all the hate mail I get to, it's like, you hate women. It's usually in all of them. And
no.
I have been to where the road of hate ends.
Yeah.
And I want nothing to do with it.
We wouldn't be out here telling the truth and explaining our own very checkered past.
Yeah.
If we hated women. If anything, we got to this point and we're trying to help because we love women a little too much.
I'm just trying to keep dudes alive by telling them the truth and warning them.
Exactly. So no, that there's no hate there. Do not confuse, risk assessment with hate. Okay, you sound like a Democrat, and if you watch the show, I know you're not.
Correct.
The only one who loves a bad girl is the good Lord himself. Not true. So when you find him, you learn to love yourself, and only then can you learn to love others.
Well, I'm not going to say you're wrong there, but who am I to I'm not here to preach God to anyone.
No.
You need to work that out for yourself.
Yes. And there's a reason why women are not allowed to do that. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
It's because you are confusing feelings here. Even though you're correct on a great many points, the sum and substance, the main theme that you're going for, is summarily incorrect. For the good girls that are bitching about us, have they reached out to a bad girl and tried to help her and tell her she isn't right to her ways? Yes.
Yeah. It usually falls on deaf ears.
Good women will routinely try to tell other women the same shit that we try to tell them. You know what they get called? Internalized misogynists.
Also, dick and drugs both start with a D.
Yeah. Meth and dicks.
I told that joke at 7-Eleven. I had everyone cracking up.
Fentanyl and phallus both start with an F. Actually, no, is phallus a PH? I don't know. Flaccid. Fentanyl and flaccid. Or we'll go with that instead.
I'll go with an F.
They start with the same sound.
Well, it all depends on what country you're in. Because phallus is in some countries spelled with an F and some with a PH.
Damn it! Failing at my English degree.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that they haven't. You haven't met my wife. Women are petty and jealous and far too competitive to help a sister who is struggling and would rather sit back and watch her crash and burn so she can feel superior and have someone to look down on and gossip about. Hence the fat acceptance movement.
Frenemy.
Men are more of a brotherhood and do try to help a guy out like you are doing for each other on the show. Thank you. I know that there are safe houses for trafficking victims that rehabilitate. Not everyone was lucky enough to get services. Some of us had to get curb stomped by life to come to a place of peace if we survive it. And you know what? That'll happen even if you do everything
Everyone
right.
is going to get curb stomped by life.
Popp took the advice of the one woman in the world that he was supposed to be able to trust above any and all others in regards to pursuing relationships. What happened? Curb stomped like American History X.
0 to 60 into the wall in 1 second flat.
In the butt. Yeah. All 18 inches of Murphy.
Yeah.
So this isn't just happening to women.
No.
I support what you do, but know there will be a wife/baby shortage if the attitude persists on both sides. That I absolutely agree with.
And I'm going to be honest with the way the laws are and the way it destroys men's lives.
Yeah.
I literally will never, unless they change shit around, I will never advocate for men to get married or stay in long-term relationships or have children.
Honestly, civil unions, marriage licenses, all of that stuff, anything that involves the state needs to go bye-bye.
That's right.
No fault divorce, bye-bye.
We have too many laws micromanaging shit that takes place in your life.
I'm sorry, but I am responsible for where my assets go in the event of death, dismemberment, what have you, okay? Whether or not I have a written contract with the woman that I cohabitate with should be fucking irrelevant in the eyes of a state that should have zero hand in the process.
Correct.
They can suck my fucking taint. Ugh. If the state hadn't gotten involved in the first place, marriage and divorce would probably be just fine. But everything the government touches turns to shit.
Yeah. And one of the big arguments that they used for no-fault divorce was women are committing suicide at unprecedented rates.
And even though men were still outpacing them in suicide and have drastically started doing so.
All they've done is move the suicides from the female side to the male side.
Yeah. And men already killed themselves more back then.
Yeah.
So all they did was take a problem and make it worse. Oh, but it's the binge drinking of the ladies that we have to worry about now, not the male suicide rate that we totally had a hand in, right?
And nobody talks about.
Nope.
I'm like the only comedian on the planet actively fighting this shit.
Because they don't fucking care. It was all
There's
part
no
of the
money and
business.
hope. That's why.
Yep. They don't want the white race reproducing. That's really. I mean, you take a look at some of the shit that that was published in the early 1900s around the time of Weimar Germany. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Let's see. I agree with that point about the babies and all that stuff. Let's see. If the attitude persists on both sides that women are unworthy of love because of past mistakes, or that men are toxic and deserve bad treatment. Now, I don't think that somebody who makes poor decisions is unworthy of love. Again, you are projecting your own interpretations onto what we think. That's not true.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's simple risk assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want salvation, you go to God. You want salvation, you come to men. We don't have to subsidize your bad decisions, though.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
The simp economy needs to come to an end.
Yeah. Refusing to finance your bad, refusing to save you from a bad past is not you being unworthy of love. Mm-hmm. It's just a man saying, I'm not sure if I'm the guy for you.
And
sorry.
I don't blame them.
What it is. I don't blame them either.
No.
Because I'm sorry, like if a woman comes up to you and she's got meat curtains hanging down to her freaking kneecaps because she, had 101 cocks ran through her in a single day, and then she thinks 1,000 is her next goal, and she's riddled with the HIV, are you going to raw dog that shit just because you want a family? Of course not.
Well, if you're a fool,
yeah, shit,
and you don't wrap your tool,
Digital Dave is sick, Houston Duck,
and you think it's cool.
Yep.
No.
Go dive in a pool. I'm looking forward to the change where men will be leaders again, so the whole culture can change.
Well, if you want men to lead, you have to stop producing third-string men known as females who are feminists.
Yeah. Stop telling men to get out of the way then.
Yes.
So that you can lead.
Yeah.
Well, women love to be like, well, we wouldn't have any wars. And no, actually, queens routinely declared war way more than the men. History's a bitch, ain't it?
Yeah, especially when you break it down to its numbers.
Yep. And that includes men taking responsibility for their sexual behavior as well. I can concur with that. There are some dudes out there, I mean, like, if you're banging like 4 or 5 different chicks a week, you're a problem too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're a man whore dipping the wick in everything, how do you down a hoe? Correct. I'm down. Although one requires work and the other requires, okay.
Oh,
like I said, you cannot have studs without sluts who are willing to spread their legs.
The whistle sacks.
Yes. There's one thing that would fix all of this: impulse control. Stop thinking that everything is about instant gratification. Men and women alike. You guys are the ones boinking her. She wouldn't have a body count without volunteers, and she wouldn't have a body count without saying yes.
Oh, my God.
It's easy to point the finger at the bad girls, so let me remind you of more scripture. Take the plank out of your own eye before you look at the sawdust in mine. Everyone likes to turn with the bad girl, then talk shit when you really know better, because you knew you were hitting damaged goods and did it anyway. That's why condoms were invented.
Oh, Lord.
There are a lot of shameful things that men will do for a slump buster.
Well, and I've seen guys willingly bed down women that they know are stone crazy.
Yes.
I'm literally like, dude, this is going to be hard to get away from this woman.
Yep.
I know, but she's so hot. She's also fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'll just take her home this one time.
Uh-huh.
Jail!
Yeah. And as far as the whole knowing a woman was damaged goods and did it anyway, I'm going to put it out there that like the likelihood of dudes banging the stripper on purpose is very, very low.
Unless
women
you're in the army.
routinely lie about their pasts and lie about their body counts all the time and then claim it doesn't matter when they're trying to pretend that they're strong and independent.
Unless you're in the army, those dudes are always banging strippers, man.
Dumbasses.
They marry him too.
Dumbasses. I'm just saying, like, the average civilian dude, though, isn't going out there looking for a stripper.
No, they're not.
This is bad news bears, baby. Bad news bears. I was in segregation. For 9/11, all the bad girls would have left that prison to fight for this country rather than die. What? All the bad girls would have left that prison to fight for this country rather die free.
They'd rather die free than be in prison.
Okay. Bad girls still have dreams and standards despite popular belief that we have none or Alley Cat's standards. She was made for the streets.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen some women do some crazy ass shit that I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Pornhub.
Well, there you go. Substance abuse, which runs rampant in this country, is a huge contributing factor as to why women are impaired and not making decisions with a sound mind. If you're talking about head meds, you may have a point. Average person is not a substance abuser. Drugs are bad, okay? We have established that. However, they're also expensive, and once you're hooked, the beast needs to be fed by any means necessary. Now, substitute drugs with cock, and that's most of your bad girls.
Yeah, and look, man, I understand the substance abuse thing, but you can beat it. There's all kinds of people that beat that stuff.
Yep. It's like, I'm sorry to disagree with with you summarily, but I kind of have to. Okay, I understand that you lived the life that you lived. You're speaking your truth. But the fact of the matter is that you're not going to override generations, centuries, millennia of behavioral evolution because you want to be loved.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm sorry
Yeah,
that you
listen.
lived the life that you did, but it's not our fault.
Again, it kind of sounds blamey and shamey.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry that you grew up that way. Like whatever it was that you had to deal with that took you down a bad girl path. If you have truly self-corrected, awesome. Genuinely. Like
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to get stuck in that hole.
That's a horrible world.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
That's a horrible world, man.
It is. It's a terrible world.
Yeah.
No one wants to have to live in that, and especially doesn't have to be stuck in that. The fact of the matter is, though, is that your best chance for finding happiness is somebody who came from a similar background to you, who also self-corrected, who can understand your trauma and pain and how to not trigger it to send you back down that path. Whether or not you're going to be attracted to that guy is another thing entirely. See, bad girls love to completely gloss over the idea that they are in control of everything that goes in and out of here. All right?
And here's another thing.
There are so many dudes who I bet are littering your DMs that you ignore because you're not attracted to them.
Yeah. Listen, man, this whole idea of romantic love is pretty new.
Yeah.
Before romantic love, it was like convenience, marriage of convenience. Because guess what?
Or marriages that were arranged.
No, there's always been marriage. Yeah, well, that's also a marriage of convenience.
It is, usually for the families, not the actual people.
Absolutely correct. But the marriage of convenience thing is, if you look back through thousands of years of history, that's pretty much all there was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is what it is. See, and the thing is, those marriages tended to last. Well, whereas the men that modern women tend to pick, the marriages that modern women tend to pick don't really last.
But also back in the day, it didn't have the government feeding women and doing all. It was always like a woman would hook herself to a man. Yeah. He would work. He'd provide for the family. And somehow that was a bad thing.
Yeah. They incentivized the destruction of the nuclear family on purpose.
Yeah. And now I'm going to be strong and independent. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be a boss bitch. And then all of a sudden, my fertility's gone.
Balls.
The world is ending. And you did it to yourself.
Yep. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you're unworthy of love. It just means that you may not be able to get that love from good men who have always been good. You're probably going to have to look for somebody who understands where you're coming from and has lived it.
Yeah, he might have been kicked in the dick brain by life a couple times and put himself on the right path.
It is what it is.
Huh?
Some men can also take responsibility for turning younger girls onto drugs to make them pliable.
Yeah, that's fucked up. 100%.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But again, you're also talking. We're back to. I'm sorry, this is a modern women trope. You are looking at the outliers to explain your position. That's not the average dude.
No.
Okay, we're not all going Cosby up in here with the Quaaludes. Okay. By the way, he didn't rape anybody, but he was an asshole. I had a 24-year-old boyfriend / predator at 14 years old as a fun away pun away. I don't even fucking know what you're writing here.
Well, we know where you're going.
I know what you're going with this. Yeah. Later in life, at 16 and 32 years old, a man shot me up with smack to keep me under his control. It's not all the bad girls' fault or the men's fault. There is plenty of blame to go around. That I can agree with.
Yeah, 100%.
I am not advocating to get involved with bad girls who are still sick and struggling, as that is a recipe for disaster. If they have their shit together and are really trying, in my humble opinion, I think we all deserve love and happiness. Correct. However, a lot of bad girls who are still balls deep in the shit will insist they have it all together. They'll insist they're strong and independent, that they don't need a man, yada, 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 that they're the prize and all that other bullshit. And we can't tell which is which. So that's not us telling you you're unworthy of love. It's us telling you you need to prove yourself to us if you're even going to get the time of day.
Well, and there's also that problem a lot of these bad girls have is they get bored with the guys that they have.
Yep. If they find a good man, they get bored.
Yeah.
And then they go look for the bad boy again.
Exactly. They want the feels instead of the reals.
Yes. There is no way to truly know whether it's a bad girl or a former bad girl. All right. And you insisting on it and just claiming that it is like, well, this is the internet. It must be true, right?
Yeah. Any man with any logic is going to be like, this is her past. I'm not going to take the risk.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how many times you sing that Spice Girls song. If you want my future, forget my past. We're not going to.
It's not happening.
Just like you won't if we do something that pisses you off. You're going to bring it up in 5 years.
That's going to be another thing in the future is there's going to be a lot of guys probably filing for divorce when they find out that their wife was the bad girl in the back in the day. And they're like, nope. I'm out.
Done and done. This is going to be a long show tonight, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
There are way too many, she says, lonely people in this world.
Amen.
Agreed. Amen.
Absolutely correct.
And women. We are hiding from each other, afraid to take a chance on each other, and it's a sad state of affairs.
Men can't afford it.
Yeah, it's because the laws hold us accountable, and they coddle you.
That's correct. A man makes one fucking bad decision, takes that wrong step, and he's literally a slave for 18 to 21 goddamn years.
Yeah. If you want to prove to us that you're really a reformed bad girl, get all the reformed bad girls together and start petitioning to overturn some of these fucking laws. Then maybe we can have a conversation.
Yes.
I am happy with my cat and hold the boxed wine. Hold the box wine. I am sober. Oh, that's good. I was told in early sobriety, feel, deal, and heal. That is what I have done. It's actually not a bad thing. Feel, deal, and heal. It's pretty good. You could put that in there with the CHILL acronym.
Yeah.
This is what I have done. Head meds and street drugs don't allow you to feel and delays the healing process. Fucking men to that.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, head meds just correct a chemical imbalance in your brain that make you feel that way. Oh, did they test you for the chemical imbalance before they gave you the pills?
Well, they wanted me. They wanted me to stay on head meds forever,
because
the rest of your life.
Because they wanted to create the chemical imbalance that is then maintained by the meds. They want you to be dependent.
Yes.
They want perma-patients, hence trans kids, which don't exist. There's only abusive parents. And a process it is. I'm glad the good girls got no problems or flaws and have all their shit together that smells like roses. Again, you're psychologically projecting your own inferiority onto them, okay? Good girls don't actually think that way. They know that we're all flawed.
Everyone's flawed.
I know because I'm actually married to one. One has to wonder why the men aren't lining up at their door giving the bad girls a hard pass all the way. Why are we a threat to such fine, upstanding females? You're not. Riddle me that. I just had to say that. My story is so much more, but right now I have to back up my bad bitches still in the struggle. Some fun, kind, solid females are flawed. Well, yeah,
Everyone's
we're all
flawed.
flawed. And that's why your whole thing about good girls looking down on you is 1000% weapons grade bullshit. Sorry, but you're wronger than two boys fucking in the same church you're praying in.
Oh, God. That's savage. Bro.
Okay? How you look at yourself in the mirror about your past is how you think we look at you. That's not the truth. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You are still needing to climb over the pain wall. Now, if you're too fat to climb over it because it's 8 feet tall, do some cardio and buy a ladder.
Change your diet and buy a ladder. I like that.
Okay? You're not getting off easy just because you're a chick. We're going to lambaste you the same as we would a dude writing us this same shit.
Everyone gets screwed with in the regiment.
Hence, Russian faggot coat. Okay?
Yeah.
If I'm going to give him shit and make him puke, you think I'm not going to tear into you?
Yeah. He did put my face on a woman with a wedding dress.
Come now.
Let's be real here.
She continues, I also believe that instead of blaming the bad girls, let's put the blame, of which there is plenty to go around, where it belongs. So to be interesting. The breakdown of the family with malice intent for profit. Divorce has
Correct.
created a plethora of bad girls deprived of a father.
Correct.
Yep. Or not knowing what one is so that they don't know how to interact with men.
Correct.
Absolutely.
100%.
You have redeemed yourself. Also, the feminazi movement that demonizes strong masculine men and creates entitled women. Actually, it doesn't even really do just that. It labels certain behaviors toxic, but only
if men do it.
if men do it.
Correct. Like I said, third string men.
Yes. If these women didn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. All family court operators who use our children for cattle and create broken, hurt children because happy, well-adjusted girls don't require services and therefore don't turn a profit. 1000%. All of this has been engineered from the very highest levels, and it's important to understand that before you start spreading blame around the people who are just assessing risk.
I'm going to give her credit. She's really hit a lot of the bullseyes.
She has, like, this page right here is the best one so far.
She's hit a lot of bullseyes, in my opinion.
1000%. Who in turn are dysfunctional adults. Throw in the mix of narcissistic moms who see their daughters as a threat and competition and spend all their time stepping on their neck to come out the winner and destroy the competition. That creates more bad girls who are filled with unbridled rage. And when teenage rebellion hits, all bets are off. Not trying to change your mind or influence the show in any way, just holding it down as a bad girl for life.
Okay.
Understood.
All right. No problem there.
That whole page, very valid.
Yes.
Let's see here. Last page here. Lastly, the good girls sometimes don't take care of business and their men come looking for us. See, that's one of the downfalls of sexual variety.
Yes.
Is it fun? Yeah. Can it be addictive?
Oh,
worse than any drug. Okay?
Yeah.
However, it is not good for your think and meat long term. It's as bad as watching porn on the regular.
And it's also bad for the little head as well, because you might catch yourself some vada.
The burning ring of fire.
Burning ring of fire.
We send them home to her with a smile on their face and an attitude adjustment. Men are guilty, too, of sneak creeping with the bad girls when the good girls won't put out or suck at it if and when they do, because they don't want to learn how to pleasure properly. The hot girls. I wouldn't even say good girls. That describes more hot girls. Well, no one ever complained before. Yes, I always love fucking a starfish. I've never complained about that in my life.
Oh, my Lord.
Back off. Because they are such a catch, sex is a treat to be doled out at her bequest. Bad girls do that too. Bad girls know that men are pretty easy to please. It doesn't have to be complicated. Correct. Keep our balls empty, our stomach full, and give us some space.
And a compliment once in a while that you mean.
We're pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Don't be a nagging bitch and go by the 2 F's. Fuck 'em and feed 'em. Also be loyal, ride or die. Bad girls have experienced a lot of badness and trauma and have a lot of love to give once it's safe to do so. I rest my case. Thanks for listening on behalf of the bad girls. You made some valid points.
Uh-huh.
The first 5 pages, though, I got to disagree with most of it.
Yeah, there was a couple bullseyes there.
Yeah. And the reason why I can safely do that is because you're talking about people who came from a particular background that I am very, very familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a couple of very good girls who came out of it. And one of the first things that they learned is not to blame.
Well, listen. Like my ex, I ignored so many red flags. It was a goddamn communist parade.
There you go.
And
I've done it too.
I made some decisions based on compassion and issuing a second chance, and it almost cost me my life.
Yeah. Axel Milan actually brings up a very interesting point when she's talking about ready to give love once it's safe, aka I've had my fun and I'm ready to settle down. Do you have any idea how many times we've heard that shit? Do you have any idea how many times the bad girl gets courted by the good guy and she withholds sex from him because she's still fucking other bad boys? Okay? We cannot tell whether you're truly a good girl or if you're a bad girl in disguise.
And you also have the alpha widow thing as well.
There you go. And that shit never goes away.
Nope.
It's just like the dude who takes your virginity, you're never going to forget him. You're never going to forget the dude who alpha widows you.
That's right.
There's
You can't
a reason.
unring the bell. You can't unring the bell.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of married men don't have social media. It's because they know a lot of those chicks from their past are going to try to come back. Oh, how you doing? Are you happily married?
I'm not saying that hasn't happened to me a few times.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.